Welcome back to the CC&A Insurance podcast. I'm your host, Abigale Dixon, and in each episode, we sit down with our experts to simplify the world of insurance and risk management. Our goal is to provide you with all the information you need to protect what matters to you most. Today, we are diving into the topic of key points to discuss with your broker at Renewal. Joining me, I have Nelga Stewart. Hello, Nelga.
Hello, Abby and everyone.
Nelga is one of our broker assistants, and she deals mostly with our commercial lines clients and their personal policies. What would be the most important thing for clients to do as soon as they receive their renewal documents?
Abby, one of the most important things to do when any document's received, especially at renewal, is actually having a look through the document.
Okay.
It's checking the small things. It's checking that the covers that you think you might need are there. Having a look and deciding if your current needs are met.
Okay.
Because your life today is not the same as it was last year. So there could be changes in what you now need. And unless you actually have a look at the document and just a read through it, you might not necessarily realize what is and isn't there, and that there might be a gap in cover.
Okay. Or even the opposite, you might find that you're insuring something that you no longer have anymore.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's different stages in your life. You start as a young professional with your motor only. Then you get married. You then have a house. You get contents in the house. You get kids. Well, you have kids. You don't get them. You have them. And the kids grow up, they then go to college or studies or straight into work. They then move out with their stuff. You then head towards retirement. You downsize. You give things to the kids. You move into an old age home or a retirement village. So even more then, you have less goodies with you.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, our aim is to make sure that your policy is correct for you at that stage in your life.
Yeah.
But we're not always aware of where you are and what your needs are. Okay. So when we have that discussion with you, or when we have the renewal come up, that's where we like to engage to make sure that the policy is addressing what you need for right now and the next year to come.
Yeah. Okay. What life or business changes should you advise your broker of or discuss with your broker?
On your personal side, it is any kind of change that you go through in your stage of life, from moving out of your parents' place until the day you no longer need insurance. So it would be finding your life partner. It would be getting engaged, getting married, having children, having your children start driving.
Yeah.
Working from home. We've seen that with COVID. A lot of people are now actually able to work from home because the technology and the companies that they work for allow it. So you now have to be aware of the implications of you sitting at the house working for your company. Your kids starting to drive, your retirement age, your retirement coming up, getting divorced. It does have an impact because you no longer have all of what you did have.
Yeah.
So those would be things that you should let us know throughout the year, or especially at renewal. And then on your business side of things, if you're looking at changing what you do or branching out. So you were originally just a supplier of a product, but you've now gotten more involved where you looking to be involved in the design of it, or you are now doing more products. So instead of just doing woodworking, you're now doing woodworking and plastics.
Okay, yeah.
As an example. And those are things that do affect your cover. And if we're not aware of it, it poses a potential problem should something happen during the year.
Especially if you're dealing with more products and you need higher sums insured possibly.
Exactly. We do at Renewal tend to apply a inflationary increase to your sums insured in an effort to match or make provision for your inflation. With the petrol prices, we've been seeing prices shooting up, and that's from your food to your construction to all avenues that is your life.
How can clients review values of property or assets to make sure that they are adequate?
We have property valuators. There are some that you can contact to visit your property, have a look at it. Those guys will then go to their contacts that supply those items, be it construction materials, be it equipment that you use, to get a replacement value for them as at this point in time.
Okay.
Because an important thing to remember when looking at your sums insured is that it needs to be the current replacement value, including VAT.
Yeah.
If the value is not adequate, and a claim happens, there is an average condition that forms part of the policy wording that applies to several of your sections, like your fire, your household contents, your all risks, the buildings, your electronic equipment. And that basically states that if something happens, you have decided to self-insure a portion of the sum insured, even though you might not have been aware that the value wasn't sufficient.
Yeah.
So instead of receiving 100,000 Rand for the claim that you've put through, you then get 75,000 Rand because you're 25% underinsured. So the values of your assets isn't just limited to your buildings and contents and such.
Yeah.
You also have your motor vehicles to take into consideration. Although we've got access to the Auto Dealer's Guide, which gives us the retail value for your vehicles, the vehicles aren't always available on it. They have a certain cutoff date where if a vehicle is more than 20 years old, for example, it's no longer available on the list. You also have vehicles where they aren't sold very regularly, so it's more of a limited edition type thing. And on those instances, the vehicles also don't have a retail value because the retail value is based on the flow of the vehicles into dealerships and from the dealerships back into the public.
Yeah. So it's market related.
Exactly. What happens in those instances where the value is no longer available or on a limited type vehicle, you can't get the value, you can then insure it for the agreed value.
Yeah.
So you as the vehicle owner then have to go to a reputable motor dealership or club and ask them to help you with an agreed value.
Okay.
In writing is the problem though, because I can go and say, well, I went and visited them and they told me my car's 100,000 Rand, which we then change it to 100,000 Rand. But the problem then comes if a claim happens, insurers would like to have something in writing to say a professional did have a look at it and their finding was this was the value.
Yeah.
Dealerships do it as well. So it's not just limited to clubs, but there are also vehicle valuators out there.
Yeah.
Where they'll do it not just by going and looking at your car. They will ask for photos. So you'll send photos of all panels of your vehicles, showing the interior of the vehicle and the boot, and then showing the mileage. And they'll then have a look at that and say, this would be what you would be looking at in terms of replacing the vehicle. So then we have that on file. If something happens during the year, pull it out, insurers have a look at it, and then they proceed with a claim. And it's very important with those kind of things to remember that updated value needs to be obtained every year at renewal.
Yeah.
So it's not like jewelry where you can go for 2 years without supplying a valuation. It needs to be done on a yearly basis. Otherwise, the insurers will have their internal professionals have a look at it and say, this is what it was when we got the last one. We would say reduce it by X for depreciation and wear and tear and condition.
Yeah.
And that's what they then settle your claim on. Another important point with your vehicles at renewal is to make sure that any extras that you might have fitted, be it upgrading your seats to leather seats or putting a tow bar or a bull bar or wrapping your car, fitting a dash cam.
Okay.
All of those things you need to let us know. The reason for that is if something happens to your car, we aim to put you back in the same position. And that would include having the tow bar and the bull bar and the dash cam and the leather seats, if it's not a standard feature in that model of vehicle, put back in the car. So for us to be able to do that, we need to note those as extras on the policy to ensure that they're covered. Now, when a vehicle gets purchased, we get a copy of the invoice. It then notes the extras that are fitted at that point in time. You might later on decide to go and fit a tow bar because that suits you in terms of your everyday life. So I had a client that purchased a vehicle in 2007. And those vehicles now kind of come with your steps as standard. But in 2007, it wasn't really a standard item.
Okay.
So we had noted them for, I think, about 5,000 Rand. They had a claim last year, and those same kind of, to repair the stairs or to repair the step and replace them, came to about 17,000.
Oh my goodness.
So there was a bit of a problem there where the sum insured that we had made provision for wasn't sufficient.
Yeah.
So it's an important thing, along with reviewing your sums insured and getting your agreed values where necessary, that you get updated values for canopies, the branding, wrappings, everything like that, because it might have cost you 5,000 Rand when you fitted it, but now it's going to cost you twice that. And we don't want you to be in a position then of having to find the money to go and have that fitted again.
Yeah, or go without it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. What would you need to provide cover for artwork?
Although your contents does make provision for your art, you have specialized art or you have unique pieces. And we have a facility with one of our insurers that is tailor-made for artwork. Now, it includes restoration, transporting of it, although that is, you have to let us know if you do transport those type of artwork. And it's specifically designed to make sure that if something happens, you have got cover. So they also allow for appreciation. So you bought a piece, it was valued at 20,000. The artist has died in the meantime. Now, instead of it being 20,000, it's now increased to 30,000 because of notoriety and those contributing factors.
Yeah.
They build that into the product to make sure that you covered if something now goes and happens to it.
Yeah.
So we can then go and arrange the cover that you might need for those special pieces, whether it's at your home, but it's not just at home that you have these, because offices also have special artwork, or they go and buy sculptures that they then present or keep in the office on display. So it's not just I've got it at my home. You've got it at the office too, although you might not necessarily be aware of it.
Yeah.
So we can then get cover for those things to make sure that if anything happens to your asset, you have got cover to replace it.
Okay. And what would the client need to give you to be able to get a quote for that?
We would need a description of the item, value. They probably have the purchase invoice or something along those lines from when they did get it, but that's a starting point.
Yeah.
But also, again, we know we reiterated it a lot, but it is an important thing that you do need updated valuations, because, again, it might have been 20,000 Rand when you purchased it originally, but now it's going to cost you 50,000 because he has passed away and depreciation has happened because of the market influences.
And the built-in appreciation cover, is it like limited to a percentage, or?
often do find that they are limited to
Okay.
a percentage, but it's also something that can be discussed with insurers.
Yeah, but then you would need to be aware of that, and you would
Yes.
kind of only know that if you got a valuation.
Exactly.
Okay. Is there anything else that may be pertinent to discuss with your broker?
We as your broker are there for you year-round. You can email us, you can WhatsApp us. We do have a WhatsApp line available nowadays. So documents, queries, send it to our WhatsApp. It then gets distributed to the correct person who will then contact you and make sure that you have the right information that you might need. We do the review once a year, but you're not limited to only reaching out to us once a year.
Yeah. So what comes into consideration when a client's policy is up for renewal from the underwriters and brokers' perspective?
So each year we pull the full policy schedule, and then the claims history as well. Because when you go into discussions with your insurer, they also need to see what claims have happened to make sure that the policy's changes fit you. And it's not just a case of insurers feel, okay, well, we want to increase 10% motor premiums across the board, regardless of whether you've had a claim
or not. Yeah,
exactly. So we want to avoid that from happening and making sure that you haven't had a claim, so you're not going to get 10% increase. You might have a 2.5% or a 5% increase on your motor premium, for example, but there's external factors that affect it as well. Your cost of repairs have increased. The cost of parts have increased. So we aim to make sure that you remain insurable by not claiming to such an extreme that an insurer doesn't want to provide you with cover. With your contents and the buildings, cell phones, laptops, assets out for when you do go out and not having an item specified. All of those things we look at, we often increase them by 10%. As I said, just the 10% is to make provision for your inflationary increase.
Or anything else that you may have purchased when it comes to your content sum insured.
You might have gone and bought new couches. Yes, you've gotten rid of your old couch, but you now have a new couch, which is more expensive. So we can't see that. We don't know that. We don't expect you to go, Nelga, I've just bought a new couch for 20,000 Rand. Please change my sum insured. It does become a bit onerous on you, on the client's part. So it's globular figures for your contents and your buildings. So to make it easier, we try and do that inflationary increase to make provision for those type of purchases, as well as your increase in cost of replacing items or rebuilding the house. So those inflationary increases aren't set in stone. It also ties back to where you are in your state, where you are in your life. Because yes, if you were still young with your children and stuff, that inflationary increase would have been 100%. But you're now looking at stepping down or going into a smaller place because the kids have all flown the coop. And you no longer need that. So you then come to us and say, listen, I don't have all of this stuff. To replace everything in my house is going to cost X. So please change the sum insured to that. Ties back to being able to get valuations for it. We do have inventory forms that can be used as a guideline as to what to look for when replacing your contents, because people when looking at their contents look at the big things, your TV, your seats, your beds. They forget about the smaller things like clothing, shoes, linen, cutlery, crockery, your rugs. So you have two avenues in terms of your buildings, your content sum insured. And with your building sum insured, you can have a professional builder in the area provide you assist with square meterage, taking into consideration the fixtures in your house, because you might have marble countertops with unscraped taps instead of just a pressed wood countertop with a Galmar sink. So those kind of things does have an impact on your rebuilding. And you have your valuation companies that we can help guide you with, or you can go to your builder who will be able to steer you in the right direction, just to make sure that what you are insuring is as correct as it can be.
Yeah. That brings us to the end of today's conversation. So, Nelga, thank you for taking the time to share your insights with us.
Thank you for taking the time to sit and chat with me, Abby. Thank you to everybody for sitting and listening to me. I hope we've given you some kind of insight on these things, and that you feel comfortable reaching out to us to make sure that we have the policy tailor-made to your needs.
For those listening at home or at the office, we hope you found this discussion valuable. If you have any questions about what we've discussed today, or if you would like to review your policy, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can find a link to our website in the description above or below this video, and you will find our contact information on our website.